booty. It is trash. It is trash. It's trash. I'm telling you, it's trash. It. I hate Gear 5. Now look, I'm just some random dude on the internet, so my opinion doesn't matter at all. But this is just what I think. Gear 5, it's trash. Uh, and like, look, I'm not some One Piece hater. One Piece is one of my favorite series. I've been reading it for 20 years, since I was 17 years old, back in 2002. Back when, I mean, most people probably don't even remember this. Back when Shonen Jump, English Shonen Jump first came onto the scene, they had like a monthly release and they had older manga. They weren't necessarily current with what's going on in Japan like it is now back then. I had the monthly subscription, I'd get it in the mail. That's how I was introduced to One Piece. And, I've been with One Piece for 20 years. Gear 5 just destroys everything about Luffy's abilities and all of that. Sorry if this seems a bit disjointed. This is just me off the top of my head as I record this right now. Like, I mean, I have some ideas that I've thought about for a while. I've been sitting on this, but I don't have anything sort of planned out. So if this seems to be a bit all over the place, that's why. Look, we all expected Gear 5. Oda's favorite manga of all time is Dragon Ball. Akira Toriyama is this man's hero. And he's taken a lot from Toriyama just in when you look at One Piece. Hell, even down to Luffy's color scheme, his original color scheme, right? Luffy had red and blue, Goku had orange and blue. Luffy's personality, I would say he's even dumber in some ways than Goku is, but they have very, very similar personalities. They're very simple-minded guys. So, of course, you got Super Saiyan, and Gear 5 is essentially that. But I see all this stuff out on the internet about, oh my God, Gear 5, so cool, this is great. And I just kind of wonder, like, this has always been a thing about One Piece, is that I love One Piece, but people be on Oda's nuts like it's like a bad rash. It just seems like people never really or the fans never really criticize him for his weaknesses. And before getting into Gear 5, for example, his weakness is one of his biggest things that has always been a problem for years, has been like panel layouts, right? The man puts so much crap into his panels that sometimes my eyes, and I know I'm not the only person that thinks this, my eyes don't know where to focus, and that's not a good thing, right? It's, you want to be able to focus, okay, this is where my eyes can focus, but this is so messy, or things are the thing you're supposed to focus on is so small in the panel that you're just like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. There's just so much crazy shit happening, right? That's one of his things. Another major thing is what I refer to as arc fatigue, which he gets into a lot. Of course, this is shonen, right? Arcs go for a long time, but this man's arcs just go on and on and on for no apparent reason, almost as if he's stalling and trying to figure out where he needs to go. Wano is now, without a doubt, the longest arc in One Piece. This shit started in 2018. 2018. And it's still going on. And who the hell knows when it could have ended, like, there are like 10 times where this thing could have ended already, and it hasn't. He keeps dragging it on. I mean, the anime is now at roof piece, as they like to call it, right? Where they're all up on the roof fighting Kaido, and I'm like, yo, they still got like 50 to 100 episodes left of this shit, and that's if the manga ended tomorrow, for example. I'm recording this on May 12th, 2022, so just to give you an idea of when this is, so things may change, but as I'm recording it right now, it's still like we're still not sure when this thing is ending, right? I mean, Dressrosa was the longest arc at 102 chapters, but I mean, Wano has long passed that over like 100 chapters like a year ago. Maybe not a year ago, but around last year sometime it went past that. So yeah, I mean, the man, his panels can get real messy where you're like, I have no idea what I'm looking at. And then his arcs just go on and on and on forever, right? He tends to focus on a bunch of fights and stuff that like no one cares about, right? He'll be in the middle of the thick of it with like Kaido and Luffy and then go off and focus on something else that no one cares about. That it's like, dude, like, get this done. Get it finished. And I'm rambling. Sorry. I think Gear 5 falls into a third problem he has with Aspels, where the characters just suddenly get stronger, right? Characters train and things like that, but you never actually see it happening, Where at least, I mean, if we're gonna do the comparisons to Dragon Ball, at least you would know someone was training a lot of the times, right? You knew training was happening, and so the fact that this person got stronger, happens. But the biggest training arc that we've had in One Piece was the 2 year time skip. And I'm not knocking that. I'm not saying we should have seen them training for 2 years, but we know that they trained during that time. But Luffy especially gets ass pulls. He gets the most ass pulls out of anyone because he's always beating the big bad. And I mean, even in Dragon Ball, Gohan got to kill Cell, right? That wasn't Goku. That was even then, right? Gohan got to kill Cell. And had it been up to Toriyama, he would have kept it that way, but he got pressured into bringing Goku back. That has, as far as I can remember, and I'm not going to go back and check every single thing in One Piece, but I'm pretty sure Luffy has beat every single big bad here, right? No one else has stepped up to be able to be like, okay, like just for this fight, this guy did it. And because he continues that ass pull, what just happened with Gear 5 is bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Kaido, okay, here's the thing with Gear 5. Gear 5 has taken Kaido, one of the strongest characters in the series, like at the highest level of power in this series, right? He's part of that group. He's the Yonko, which is part of that group of people that keep the power in line, right? They talked about the admirals, the Yonko, and I believe it was the Shichibukai at that time, right? Even with the 2 years Luffy spent training, he should not be able to beat this man. I mean, kudos to Kaido, because Kaido has been just putting in work. He's been fighting forever, like for the longest amount of time. And I was hoping that they were going to use that to have Luffy and the other guy, like which is now Roof Piece in the anime, where they would all beat him together. And then Luffy can get like the final few shots or something like that. But it would look like a situation where it was like, oh wow, like we had to come together to beat this guy. Which I would have been more okay with that. It's like, look, they all work together. They have these abilities. If he unlocked the Gear 5 at that point, that was a bit different in ability. And yeah, but they did it together and they beat him. But no. He got smashed. And then, Gear 5 just awakens. And now his fruit is this special fruit, which I'll get into in a second. But this whole idea of Luffy being able to do this with these guys that are at the highest level of power, I think is bullshit. These guys are 40, 50, like Shanks is the youngest one in his 40s, right? They're 50, 60, 70 years old. They've been around the block. They've been their training, their abilities. They've had these abilities forever. Think about this. Not much time has passed between Luffy fighting Katakuri and fighting Kaido. Now, granted, he did learn a little hockey trick since that time, right? Which is a powerful trick, but his abilities didn't change that much between then, since he had that battle within One Piece with one of the strongest characters in the series, but Katakuri's still below his mother. I just don't think it makes any sense. Or Luffy squeaks out a win, almost dies, but that's more because, and Luffy saying something like, had Kaido not been fighting for so long, I wouldn't have won, right? Acknowledging that, like, he's not exactly ready for that smoke just yet, but because Kaido had been putting in so much work and fighting for so long, he fought Yamato, he was just fighting. Luffy edged out a bit of a win. That would have made a bit more sense. But now on to Gear 5 itself. It has taken everything up to this point, 20 years, of One Piece. A little bit more than that. One Piece started in 1997, I believe. Over 20 years of that, and just threw it all out the window. Maybe I'm wrong, but I cannot recall in all of this time them ever hinting about Luffy's abilities in that way. Not really hinting at it. Like throughout, like getting little spurts of him doing these really unique things that might hint to him having this mythical Zoan fruit. They haven't done anything like that. It's just, look, it's a mythical Zoan fruit. Look at that. Nothing. Not in the way that people's reaction to his abilities, like some people who might know, hey, it's the Gomu Gomu fruit, but is that really the blah blah? Like, is that really that special fruit? And people are like, oh, what are they talking about? What is that? What is that? Nothing. He just pulls it out of nowhere, and just supposed to be like, okay, yep, like that's what this thing is now, right? And it also breaks the series, right? We all expected Luffy to awaken his fruit at some point. That was going to happen, but we just assumed, like all these other things, like Katakuri, like Doflamingo, that he would, he touched, like he grabs the ground and it turns to rubber or something like that. But now he's doing fucking Looney Tunes shit, right? Which I guess more specifically, I was looking at a Japanese site about this. So FYI, I live in Japan and they don't really know Looney Tunes, but they know Tom and Jerry, right? And what he's doing, what he's been doing, like with the eyes bulging out and all this kind of stuff, is very Tom and Jerry like. So it's clear he's taken basically Toon Force, right? Which is, if you don't know what Toon Force is, it's considered like, it's basically the like all Looney Tunes characters and stuff like that have this ability. It's basically you have this sort of matter manipulation, reality warping ability that's related to cartoons. So like as long as it's funny, you can do whatever you want, like Roger Rabbit, like that kind of stuff, right? Obviously, it's not exactly Toon Force, but that's what it is. And it's like, what the fuck? He's taken the most dangerous, one of the strongest, like fearsome characters, and is jump roping with him. Just jump roping with him. And you're like, really? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, you just completely broke the fruit. It seems like the scene where Kaido hits him and he kind of morphs to the attack, where attack that normally would have probably killed him. If he's aware of the attack, he can just like shrug it off because of his abilities. It's just like Luffy's now broken. It just sort of took me out of the whole thing. I'm like, why are you doing like, because Kaido is now some joke? Like everything now is just this joke. Look, I can jump rope with you. Look, I can, but like, it's just bullshit. I mean, there has to be a severe cost for this. Because at this point now, he can just beat whoever the fuck he wants. And you know it's shaping up for Blackbeard. How is he supposed to fight Shanks now that he has this ability? How is he supposed to fight Blackbeard? He'll just rubber them, like Toon Force them out. Oh, look, Shanks, I can jump rope with you now. Look, I can stretch you out and do it like this. What is this? I mean, at least Blackbeard, unless he learns some new, like has some new ability, would have to be touching Luffy for Luffy not constantly touching Luffy for Luffy not to be able to use these abilities, right? I mean, Gear 5 has to do something crazy to just like for this to be okay. Right? I mean, like he uses it again, he dies or some crazy ass shit. He's now flying in the sky. Doflamingo had to use clouds, and Sanji and people that know that ability, they skywalk where they bounce off the air. But like you see him flipping and dipping and jumping through the sky, which is not skywalk. At least they haven't said it is. And it's obviously not Doflamingo's ability. So he's just breaking the game, so to speak. He just broke the game and just kind of doing whatever the fuck he wants now. Obviously, at this point, you know, he's still fighting Kaido, so something can change. But I'm not trying to be the hater. I just hate this. I hate Gear 5 so much. I mean, yeah, maybe it'll change and like I'll be okay with it late. So far, the thing I'm the most okay with Gear 5 is him grabbing lightning because he's made of rubber. So that didn't bother me. Everything and I know this is gonna happen once this part reaches the anime. All these reactors and everything be like, oh my god, this is so amazing, it's so cool. And I'm just like, nah, this is not really. Like, not really. Oda could have done better. He could have done a lot better with Gear 5 and this whole idea, and just sort of pulling shit out of his ass just to make so Luffy could win, because he put Luffy up against a guy that he should not have beaten. And he wrote himself into a corner, and now he pulls this shit out. No hints about it in 20 years, nothing like that. And now he's got this crazy ass ability that breaks the entire fucking universe. Man, I don't know. And I don't know. That's just me. I've just been like, this is just like saying this about it. I'm just like, again, I'm just some random dude on the internet. But hey, maybe you enjoyed this rant. Maybe you agree. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think I'm just completely full of shit, which is fine. Let me know what you guys think. Not really sure I'll do much of these hot takes. They'll probably this is related to One Piece, but I mean, I got a whole bunch of ideas in my head about various things that have nothing to do with anime and manga and all that kind of stuff too. So I don't know what I'm doing with this, if I'll continue doing this, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Anyway, peace out.